Mr. Hong Quang, we'll give the stage to you.
Thank you very much, Sasha, for the introduction. And good afternoon, everybody. It's wonderful to have all of you here in that beautiful place. In that session, we will explore a new topic, AI. So can AI truly transform our industry? And addressing its pressing challenges. Let's start with a fundamental thought. Why everybody is talking about AI now? There's an analogy between AI progress and building a space rocket, where it requires a lot of fuel, robust infrastructure, and a powerful engine. For AI progress, it is big data, large scale of data centers, and high-performing GPU. The computing performance of a single GPU have increased in the last 10 years, not 5 times, not 10 times, not 100 times, it is 1,000 times. It's an amazing development. And on top of that, there's also a breakthrough in deep learning models. So all the essential components are available now, and the rocket is ready to launch. But where we want to launch it? Look back into our industry. The forecast in the next decade is positive. In terms of both sustainability, natural refrigeration, we have spoken today a lot about that. Also in terms of dynamic growth. So may AI even accelerate that? On the other side, big challenger remain from energy consumption and environmental impact to operation and maintenance. So can AI tackle those hurdles? Where want to go? I borrowed that meme from social media. It's funny, meme have true in it. Describe exactly the AI vibe now. Leaders, teams, companies are racing for AI adoption, but not always with a clear strategy, clear understanding of the risk. So hopefully in the next over half hour, we can find some answers how AI can help moving our industry forward from transforming refrigeration and cooling system to reshaping organizational operations. So please join me to welcome our 4 panelists from different segments of our industry. Each bring unique expertise and perspective to the discussion. So Sasha, may I ask you to invite our panelists to the stage?
Sure, of course. So again, Mr. Quang here, after sharing with you a little quick before we move on to the panel discussion. Mr. Quang, I'll let you, of course, get ready for the next session as our team sets up for the panel discussion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Güntner Sales Director, Mr. Hong Quang here, will moderate a panel discussion featuring representatives from leading refrigeration industry manufacturers. Now, the focus of this talk later on, together with all of our experts here, will focus on the strategies, the progress, also the challenges in implementing AI technologies within their companies. Now, additionally, I think we'll also get to hear on insightful comments from our experts here and recommendations based on their current strategies, drawing, of course, from our speakers and Mr. Hong Quang here, holistic perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us here today in this very afternoon, just a quick panel discussion session before we move on into our next break. So this will be also very exciting as we invite our speakers, our very first panelists that we'd like to invite up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together. Our first panelist is President of ZIEHL-ABEGG. We have Stefan Zinn. Hello, good afternoon. Please Do take your seat. Thank you so much for joining us today. And ladies and gentlemen, please meet your next panelist today. We have Mark Langford, Technical Director of STULZ Asia Hub. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stage. Next up, our next panelist, a National Engineering Manager for BITS Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ian Sheffield. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Ian.
And last but not least, another panelist to come join us here and share his insight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an IoT and also connectivity expert at Güntner. So we have here Patrick Schlinker. Please come and join us. Now, as we move forward together, we're going to turn our attention into one of the most transformative topics that is shaping the refrigeration industry today, the integration of the artificial intelligence. So, Mr. Quang, our moderator here today, the floor is yours to lead the discussion. I'll leave the stage to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. It's wonderful that, amazing that we are coming from different segments of the industry and coming here and discuss of that topic, AI. Let's start with a general question to Mr. Langford. Coming from a global player specializing in efficient cooling solution, what is your vision how AI will reshape our industry in the next 5 years?
Yeah, look, thank you very much. It's actually a particularly tough question. As you mentioned before, the speed at which AI is developing is crazy fast, right? And to divert from what I was saying here in my cards was I took a walk on the beach this morning and I realized that I was actually quite a long way from AI, and it was very nice to be on the beach walking there comfortably. And then I saw a lot of people taking photos. And I realized that actually the internet and AI is with us everywhere. And you can imagine that those photos will be having filters applied, they'll be uploaded to social media, and you know, AI is really truly with us everywhere. And you know, we're seeing, when I talk about social media, we're certainly seeing AI being adopted very quickly by cloud and colo type companies. And others are taking a much more cautious approach. They're wondering, you know, is this really a trend or a fad? And really, what is in it for them? I believe that it's quite widely accepted at the moment that we haven't seen the true impact of AI in our industry. And what we're seeing at the moment is really the deployment of large language models, of AI training facilities, and particularly that's happening in cold climates, as we've talked about today, in the ability to try and reduce energy consumption. So I think that we will start to see, in the next 5 years, we will start to see that fill out. We'll also see AI inferencing at the edge. And this is going to be a whole new ballgame. It's really going to need a diverse approach, and we're going to be bringing that data a lot closer to the edge. You know, what's clear is that there's going to be a lot of exciting opportunities, and many of these are going to help us. The medical profession, for example, we may start to see cures for diseases. We're going to see automation both in factory and UAV type of applications, where we're seeing that in the military already. From a vendor's perspective, we're working very, very closely with AI chip and server manufacturers to help us to understand how we can extend our knowledge in this space to reduce energy consumption and develop a tolerance for temperature that helps us to reduce the need to rely on large-scale infrastructure, chillers, generators, large battery and energy storage systems. So, you know, with that, it's fair to say that there's still going to be many, many opportunities, and I think in the next 5 years, will better understand what those opportunities look like and help us to drive our businesses to be more effective and efficient as we go forward.
Thank you. I agree with you. That's a difficult question. So the more I appreciate your answer. I also agree with you that AI advancement in all the industry may be ahead of ours. But I think the speed, it doesn't matter, but the right approach. Yeah. So coming from the big picture of AI to something physical in our system, Mr. Zinn, the fan, we all know the AC fan, and then the EC fan is one also absolute breakthrough. But can we expect the AI fan as a next generation coming soon from a leading manufacturer like ZIEHL-ABEGG?
Let me answer quickly. Yes.
Wow.
No, for sure. Let's dig a little bit deeper into it. You mentioned that there has been a transformation in the industry from AC fans through EC fans to highly efficient fan systems, what we are talking about today, where sensors are integrated, you know, intelligence is integrated into the PCBAs, in the fan itself. And these fan systems, they help to provide data, to collect data, and also to analyze data. And how, throughout the whole lifetime, for example, during commissioning, from commissioning, let's say, through the end of the life of the product, what is coming next? Talking about commissioning, so ZIEHL-ABEGG is working already on a digital twin. We have first introduced this on the data center world in Singapore some weeks ago. This helps during the commissioning to provide a more proper setup of the entire system. Furthermore, during the installation, in these intelligent fan systems, there is an automatic addressing function already integrated, so it's easier to install, to avoid any mistakes during installation and programming as well. On top of that, there are solutions available like smart bearing management systems, which enable a proper installation on the job site to have a more reliable and robust system set up. But after the installation, coming to the operation, you know, and nowadays fan systems, they adopt their speed very dynamically towards the needs from the system, towards the needs from the process itself. So they only use, for example, the energy needed to be able to run the process. But after the operations, we are also talking about health monitoring systems, which are integrated already. And I know Günther is also working on these kind of solutions to always update. And it's also introduced already today. Outside, we have seen it, and I talked to Patrick in the morning. And I'm really happy to see that, that you, as a user, can get, in the end, information about the remaining lifetime of the entire system or even the components, such as a fan. This helps also to reduce downtimes because you can really plan predictive the maintenance cycles of the entire systems.
Thank you. So at the end, everything will come down to efficiency, sustainability. Mr. Sheffield, you have been working in many projects for supermarket to reduce energy consumption. How is the potential of AI in balancing the demand of energy optimization and the required cooling capacity in a complex system like CO2 system which is providing?
Yeah, sure. This is a challenging question, and I think there's a few different ways we can look at how AI can improve the process and the business as usual process of how a project would run today. So at the moment, you'd have a team of engineers prepare a business case and make a whole bunch of guesstimates about the potential savings, potential recommissioning strategies of your system and your plant. And then through the installation process, and then afterwards your post-implementation review, to then try to demonstrate and measure that your assumptions have all lined up and that your savings are all actually meeting or exceeding the forecast savings. So having some sort of AI tool to support this process and streamline that business case to take any personal perspectives out of these cases. If an engineer is particularly passionate or overly passionate about a certain project, then obviously the AI can take that emotion out and then give a much simpler, straightforward answer without emotion and hopefully with a lot more accuracy at the end of the day.
Yes, it sounds like AI can take over difficult tasks which is almost impossible for human and optimize that with big data sources to optimize the system. Mr. Schinker, we as winner, we manufacture heat exchanger unit for both sides, cold side and hot side. Can AI change our approach to the energy, the system level of the energy optimization?
Yes, definitely. I think that when you want to optimize a system, it's required that you have detailed knowledge about all the components that are involved in the system. And it also takes time to not only monitor the parameters and adjust them during commissioning a system and also during the operation of the system. And this is the point that large suppliers, they might have the capacity and also the expertise to do this. But I think there are many smaller suppliers who just need to install a reliable system quickly. And then for optimization, there's often not enough time afterwards. And with AI, it is possible to monitor the parameters, the system continuously, to learn from its individual patterns, and to adjust the parameters then also during the runtime. When AI is combined with cloud technology, it's also possible to not only monitor a single system, but to have multiple installations with various different conditions, and that can be used to train the AI models to have a real enriching AI model that works in many different installations. And so I think, what do I want to say? With the, I was at the cloud computing. On the other side, it's always necessary that the key component or the most important function of a system, that it's controlled, safe and reliable, that this stays locally at the machine. The idea is also to have AI models that are trained with big data, but then can be used at site at a single machine and run also without any connection to the internet or to a cloud system.
Thank you. I believe that component maker have to work closely with the system builder to provide the expertise of the component and the data from the component. At the end, the system is managing all components together on one platform. We're talking about vision and future capability of AI. Mr. Langford, is there any real example in data center cooling where AI has successfully improved the suitability and reduced the environmental impact?
Yeah, look, I think there are plenty of examples, and I think us sitting here on the panel here today would breach many NDAs if we came out and mentioned specific projects. But I want to come at this from a slightly different angle from a second, and just think about the increased power and cooling that is required, and the increased power for cooling that's required to generate safe environments for AI is really forcing us to rethink the way that we do things in general. And, with that said, customers are really deeply encouraging us to look at ways that we can remove embedded carbon from our manufacturing and logistics processes. And so, with that said, we as vendors are also the users of AI to help us bring innovation into our manufacturing, into our logistics processes to make sure that we're reducing and removing as much as possible of that embedded carbon. I think that from a real perspective, what we're seeing is that the data center operators are trying to attract customers themselves, right? It's a very, very competitive marketplace. And so what they're doing is that they're using certified green power sources and then trying to attract customers with bonuses and benefits by moving workload into these certified green power sources when the availability is suitable. So saving money in that way. Somebody else talked about it before, we're also seeing real opportunities around recycling waste heat. There's a lot of heat that's generated. We're moving essentially heat from the rack to the atmosphere. And so there are significant opportunities, air to air, air to water, in terms of recycling that. From district heating and cooling systems, there is one opportunity that I can mention in New Zealand with Spark Data Center, where they're building a data center next to a wave pool. And so that waste heat from the data center is going to preheat the water in the swimming pool complex, and I'm sure some of their other needs there as well. So there's definitely many opportunities there. We're also seeing that the AI reporting is helping people to, we haven't heard much about scope emissions today, but we're seeing that AI is helping to simplify the energy reporting for customers and help them reduce their scope 3, or at least report more accurate scope 3 emissions. And that's providing real-time savings for them. It goes without saying that AI sensors in all of our systems are very pervasive these days. And that is offering us the opportunity to not only gather data, but to collect and analyze and optimize in real time. So there are significant savings to be had. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, you already gave a hint of the next part of the discussion by saying we are also users of AI. But before we come into that, I have a few more questions about operation and maintenance of cooling and refrigeration system, which is actually, for me personally, and I think for many, not always a comfortable task. We have seen today the defrosting issue. I personally have been inside those consoles many times, and for quite a while, if adjusting the defrost parameter, and it's always tough. Mr. Schlinker, can AI help to optimize the maintenance and monitoring of our units, make it more comfortable, more efficient?
Yes, I think there lies a huge potential. For example, what we also learned today from my colleague about defrosting, and there's also a large potential using AI to optimize this very energy consuming part of refrigeration. And this is one part where AI can help to analyze the data. And I can see the patterns. Each cooling room is different, and so there must also be a different approach in each installation. And no one has the time to stand by a unit and observe it over days, and then half a year later something changes. The racks are relocated or something, and this is something. The situation that can then always be monitored with an AI system and can react accordingly. And this can make it, better.
Thank you. And in this field, how does it change from a system perspective, how AI can enable system-wide maintenance and monitoring?
There's a few ways we could look at this, and from my perspective, and from my experience, the data that is generated by modern refrigeration systems, and even small ones today, and we're seeing increase in digitalisation And from my company, Bitzer, with our intelligent products, with Güntner and the AI core, and we see the display out in the foyer today of the live site in New Zealand and the information that we can capture and generate from this. The amount of data that is being generated is huge. And then I think what's not very well understood at the moment by a lot of the operators of refrigeration systems is the value that this data can produce. And from the perspective that if and when the time comes that these AI agents can mine through this data and accurately demonstrate that, okay, we've got a pressure here that's out of normal range, or some temperatures that are moving from out of their normal operating parameters, the savings in the energy drift from the initial commissioning to 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 years down the track, and the incremental energy that costs the operators of these systems from this energy drift and from sensors moving out of calibration and from technicians fiddling with parameters, the value from this data and from the value from this analysis is, I think, going to be exceptionally valuable.
Thank you. So we are not only a provider of AI-driven solution or products or services in the future, but as Mr. Langford already mentioned, we are also users of AI. So that means AI have potential to change the operation of organizations and companies. Mr. Zinn, as a regional leader, how do you think AI can help companies like ours to make data-driven decisions, to improve the operational efficiency and customer satisfaction?
That's a good question, because I think this is what we are all aiming for on a daily basis. And yeah, we are an OEM supplier. We need our customers to be successful, so we need to satisfy our customers to make them successful. And I think AI can help us a lot to know much better about the real requirements from a customer, to make him satisfied, to make him more successful, so that we are able to be also able to sell more. Also, in terms of service and support, I think we are from a proactive approach where we are able, or AI will enable us to become more a proactive supporter to our customers. So we know, or AI helps us to identify already when a customer or a product needs a support or a service even before he or the product recognizes it. On top of that, I think, yeah, in the past, all of the solutions have been engineered by humans. AI will help us also to identify and to adopt our solutions to the real requests of the process itself. So we become faster, and maybe we can slim down our units, so that means we are more competitive in the market. But jumping away from the product, from the service to the customers, I think also on the supply chain side, AI can help us a lot. I talked recently to a startup in California. They are introducing already tools based on AI, analyzing the requirements from the market, looking into the ERP system of the company, so it's the head of the ERP system, and then massaging the real orders to the purchase order to the suppliers to really improve the entire system, to avoid waste in terms of overstock. It helps reduce lead times, and this, in the end, also helps our customers to become more successful, because we will be able to provide the right product in the right time to the market itself. So, in the end, to summarize, AI is helping us to transform from a reactive to a proactive approach towards our customers, and this will, I think, be the trigger for the success in the future, to come to fast decisions, to faster support, because in the end, we need to be faster than our competition.
So do you see AI primarily as a cost reduction tool, or is a profit growth engine?
That's a really good question. I think it's both, and I think this is where the truth lies in. Talking about cost reduction, I emphasized that in the beginning, looking into the products, the process itself, having the right product in the right time at a job site, is helping to reduce the overall costs. If you can reduce the lead times, there's no extraordinary shipment necessary, like maybe air freights for the components, for the devices. But also it helps, when you look into the dynamic driven solutions like fans, for example, which are then adjusting the speed according to the real requirements of the process itself. This means it will help to reduce energy costs, so it's cost saving again. And on the other hand, as mentioned, inventory management. AI will help us a lot to reduce the inventory in the future, to really have the inventory available, which we need. But then coming from the cost saving side more to the profit growth. As initially said, we only will be successful if we are always a step ahead of our competition. So we need to use AI as a tool to know and understand the customer needs in a much better way. And this will help us then to gain the competitiveness through more personalized services, proactive support, smarter products in the end, and also faster innovation cycles. Therefore, products and services which are customized will make our customers more satisfied, more successful, and then also, for sure, more profitable. This is then the real USP.
As a salesperson, I like as a phrase, profit growth engine, revenue generation. Mr. Langford, can you imagine any new AI-driven business model which refrigeration company can offer, provide to the end customers?
Yeah, look, I think it's we're always looking for innovation, right? As Stefan said, we're really looking for ways to either reduce costs or increase revenue so that we're more profitable. And we're certainly seeing the opportunities with AI, machine learning, algorithms to help predict thermal imbalances. I think we talked about it here before, where we're looking at making sure that we can adjust our cooling components, and in our case, our cooling systems, to meet workload patterns. Somebody mentioned inverter compressors, EC fans, electronic expansion valves. All of these things are driven now by a form of machine learning and some kind of AI algorithm to help us drive energy consumption down and reduce operational risk. I think that where we see opportunities is around energy optimization for sure, using real-time sensors to provide dashboards, track and report scope emissions, PUE, WE, those sorts of things. I think that we need to start looking at being consultative in our approach to our customers, using CFD tools, digital twins, and those sorts of tools that can help provide predictable outcomes for our customers. Therefore, as Ian said, we're giving our customers better outcomes, faster outcomes, and more accurate outcomes within safe environments. We're not talking about some kind of random test that we do on site. We can do this in a safe software environment that is very, very accurate and give us failure scenarios that we can be sure will be achievable. You may even consider offering these as a proof of concept in terms of expansion or future development. So, looking at that consultative approach, it goes beyond just the delivery of hardware. Anybody can deliver a product, but looking at that consultative approach to businesses, I think, is a very important one. And of course, then we turn to after sales. And this is a very, very good area to generate business when we're helping our customers with the implementation. We provide them with that one throat to choke type philosophy where we're bundling services for them. There's remote diagnostics, there's performance optimization, predictive maintenance, and getting to the point where you can increase your service costs, provide service level agreements with a performance bond. And this is where you're then confident that you're able to go to your customer, and provide a guarantee with the help of these tools to ensure that their systems are going to remain safe. I think the other one, which is quite obvious, particularly in the data center market, is looking about the green refrigeration switch. In the data center industry, we're still using 14A, 134A, and some other less green refrigerants. So there's a really big opportunity for you out there to help data center operators to switch to more green refrigerant sources.
Thank you. So if the operation of our organization change, if the business model change, of course, logically the role in the company, in the organization also change. Mr. Schinker, with your engineering background, how AI will reshape the skill set of an engineer in our industry, and which new competency will become important, essential?
Yes, I think engineering itself has always been a profession where continuous education has been part of the job to handle new technologies that come around all the time. But with AI, we face a new level of interdisciplinary development that comes. And in the refrigeration industry, we have a wide knowledge in mechanical engineering, in electrical engineering, in control systems and the cooling process itself. But to handle AI, to build up models that requires different skills. It's required to have computer science, data science, and mathematics skills. And so I think that on the one side, engineers of those professions will find their way into the refrigeration industry, but also the classic engineers, they will need to learn the basics from them to know what data they can provide, what they can expect as an output from the AI engineers, and how they can validate also the results, because this is something the expertise in refrigeration requires. And a second part is that engineers need to look beyond their original profession and to have a wider view on the system from different angles, to see it as a whole unit and to be open-minded to new solutions.
Yeah, last night when I spoke with you at the bar, I said refrigeration is boring, and but I hope with AI it can make it more interesting, so attract more talent and young people joining our industry. Mr. Sotfield, can AI be used in R&D and product development to accelerate R&D and development of a new sustainable product and solutions?
Yeah, sure. It's an interesting question. And I know personally, with my role in BITSA and coming up with new system designs and concepts and presenting ideas to customers to convince them to give me a bunch of money to build them a system, I've spent days and days and days looking at Excel spreadsheets and trying to get the energy balance to happen, and sometimes you find very, very small errors after days of looking, and finally then the numbers add up. In terms of the digital twin, both Mark and Stefan have mentioned this, and our colleagues at BITSA US have developed some software called Fender, which essentially it's the first stage of an AI digital twin, which allows a refrigeration engineer to drag and drop different components, generic components, heat exchangers, pressure vessels, compressors onto your screen and connect it up in any way possible. And so the development time and the experimentation time to simulate your system and move a heat exchanger from one part of the system to another, change the pressures, change the temperatures, change the temperature exchange across the system. We're saving already days and weeks of time in terms of conceptualizing different systems. And Jan mentioned before that we've seen exponential growth of CO2 systems across the world, and I think really we're just still scratching the surface of new ideas and new ways to put push the refrigerant through a pipe, and just things like this digital twin, for sure, just take the time to conceptualise, but also validate the performance of existing systems and save huge amounts of time.
Thank you. I think so far we all can agree that companies who wish embrace that AI opportunity and technology will most likely stay competitive in our rapidly changing industry landscape. But let's embrace it thoughtfully with clear goals and strategy, driving sustainable goals. And I think no one can predict how far AI will bring us. I think the only one way to fight out is implementation. But I said let's embrace it with thoughtfully strategy and clear understanding. Again, thank you very much for your insights and perspective. And thank you for your attention, and enjoy the coffee break. And during the coffee break time, if you have more questions or would like to discuss with one of our panelists, you're welcome. Thank you very much.